we're expecting it to come down all the way down here, right? This should be the closest demand level that is here, all the way down to this point, guys. That's where we're expecting this market to come down from. Recall that we had a resistance level here. Now we're dealing with two zones, guys. We're dealing with two zones. We have a resistance level right here, and we also have a demand level, a demand zone at this bottom here. That's where we're placing our target. So our target right here is this green box right here, while our entry should be anywhere where the market is, because we're going to be entering this market tomorrow, being the 3rd of November 2021. So this is a very simple analysis, guys. If you make a recap to the previous video, which should be anywhere here, a previous video on AUDCAD analysis, right, it was posted over the weekend. You can understand why we're taking this move. So this is the weekly time frame. Remember, this is the weekly time frame, and this is where the market is at the moment. So let's shoot down to the daily time frame to fine tune our trades. Give me 1 minute, I'll be with you. Okay, so this was where we had that this was where we had that stuff here. You see the market here, as I went in open, this was yesterday, right? You know, it hadn't come down to this level, and before we could take a shoot at the market right here, you know, the market broke, right? You can see it breaking back into that structure, right? Into the structure here. So we're looking for a continuation to the downside at this point, guys. This is a new development, an update. We're looking for a move further downwards, right? Now, before then, you know, we shared that there was a resistance level which is still here. There is a resistance level here on the daily time frame, right? And since there's a resistance level here, we should be waiting for the resistance level to break before, you know, we shoot for a buy trade. However, the resistance level held, right? And the price broke down back into the moving average, right? So we're coming downwards. So guys, this is where the market is headed. This is where we're entering from. This is where we're entering from. Make no mistake, this is where we're entering from. I'm glad that we haven't taken this trade before, you know, we met. Oh, forgive me, I'm not very good with graphics, so this may be a little. Go back to the weekly chart. Let me go back to the weekly chart. Okay, so this is where we're coming. This is where we're coming. Yeah, I think the price is kind of slow, but you can recall, you can check the date stamp as at when we entered this trade, though it's kind of been floating around, but it's okay, it's very fine, right? So this is what we've done so far. This is where we project the take profit to get to. However, guys, this is one thing we should note. Around here was the previous demand zone, around this area here. So the price could actually approach here or approach here, and we may have to close the trade depending on the conditions of the market. But if those conditions are okay to leave it open, I would still advise us on how to do so. So guys, I believe as you're subscribed to our channel, you also follow us on Instagram, because there are some contents that we may want to share with you that may not need to prepare a video to, and we can't actually post that content on YouTube for now, right? We can't post that content on YouTube. Before we can actually post such, we have to get to a growth of at least I think 1,100 followers or thereabout, right? So we can't post on photos here. So we want to beg you guys to actually follow the page on Instagram so we can actually interact there, right? So our odd card, we've done an average of 20 pips, right? Like I said, it's not too good. I don't really like it, but we're already in the trade, right? So we just have to hold on till we get to our target profit. That's just right, the odd trades. So right here, what we have here, what we can see here in this chart, I'm going to be quite on to the point, you know, to save time. We find here a kind of supply zone. Remember, guys, we're on the weekly chart, and what we want to do on the weekly chart is to determine the directional bias of the market and also to set our take profit level, right? So we have here guys, we have here a supply zone, right? So the market pretty well tapped into this zone. You know, recall what we said about the pair, that when we see a kind of, in the previous analysis we shared already on our YouTube, it's on the AUDN, right, where we gave a very huge trick, right? You can make reference to the video, right, just the previous video. So we said, let me do a recap though. We said that when there's a kind of huge gap of this sort, right, we expect a liquidity to be created, right, a liquidity level, liquidity gap, right, and we expect that liquidity to be filled. And same scenario happened here. So if we're to scale to the lower time frame, we're going to find some kind of price action pattern here to indicate a sell. However, guys, aside the supply zone that was being created here, right, the market is quite close to the moving average, and the market is pretty well breaking below that moving average, and we expect it to close below the moving average, guys. So on that sentiment, guys, we're looking to short this pair. And where are we coming down to, guys? We're coming all the way down here, all the way down here. So guys, this is a long-term analysis, right? This is a long-term analysis on pair view. Great. So we expect the market to come all the way down here, right, for starters. Okay, so this is our forecast for the pair to come all the way into this zone, all the way into this magical zone, guys, all the way here. So if we look at it right here, the difference here will be maybe from 786, the last 3 digits, so 786 to about 603. That's over 100 pips at least. It's over 100, at least 150 pips to the downside. Now there's some significant thing about the odd Swiss. The profit potential there in pips is not that much, but the pair is really good and stable. Precious for Millionaire Logistics. You may have seen analysis from the extracts, we got from the previous from our analysis of this trade, right, before this, and the date stamps there. You can see the date stamps to compare the results. So what I'm just trying to do here, right here, is to show you how far the trade has gone, because these trades are still open. We still have the positions of these trades open on our end. Recall, if you go through our earlier analyzed trades, you will notice that we actually posted we actually published 4 analyses, right? 4 analyses, and the pound USD trade we took has actually hit the take profit, right, which we have closed. You can check, there's a short video on the performance of the trade. And right here is the odd Swiss, which is still in motion, and we'll be giving you the odd card and also the odd yen, right? So I just want to do this. I just want to rush it so I don't take most of your time, because this is not a fresh analysis, right? So our odd Swiss, for our odd Swiss trade, we've been actually done 30 pips, right? But recall, I think we just entered this trade on Friday, right? So it's okay to actually 30 pips is we're doing very fine. Now, for those of you who don't know what pips is, it's very simple, guys. We just take the difference of the currency of the price. Now, this is the trick. Don't go about telling you 1 pip is this times this and all that. Just this is a simple trick here. And at the time when we were analyzing the odd Swiss, the price was at 0.67836, and right here the current price here, as you can see, is 0.67506. So what do we do, guys? Right now, this is kind of educative, so you need to pay attention. We want to learn how you calculate your pips. It's very simple. Now, the last digits here, we ignore them. We ignore the last digits because the last digits are simply called pipettes. They are not up to a pip, so we ignore them. Just want to get the approximate number. And when we ignore them this way, we do the maths. Just a simple subtraction will do. Now, the numbers that are common here are 0.67 and 0.67. They are common, simple multiplication, so we take them out. And then we're left with 83, right, and 50. So approximately 80 minus 50, that should give us around 30 pips or 33 pips or thereabout, right? So that's the approximate number of pips in here. So you can apply that on the rest of them and you get the same result. Aside odd yen, which we're still going to discuss, is almost the same thing, guys. So that's just what we've done so far in the odd yen. We have a difference of about 33 pips from where we took the trade, right? So we're still riding it, and hoping that it will get to the target profit level. You can see the same markups, everything is just the same, right, from the analysis, reversal pattern on the daily chart. But guys, let's agree on one thing here. You see, when there's a move, now this is one of the tricks that I'm going to be giving out. Why? Because you've been patient enough to get to this point of the video. Now, what happens on the weekly chart, guys, kind of tricky but very magical. When there's very much of a weak rejection, right, of this magnitude, like from this level, from this point to this point, a weak rejection, what happens in the market is that there is a liquidity gap there, right, that needs to be filled. So there's every possibility that at the opening of the next week, the price could go bullish, right, to fill in that liquidity. So what we do as technical analysis trader is that when we get that point, like we see this kind of rejection here, we don't go into the trade immediately. We wait for the market to get up to that region and then look for another price action pattern that will give us a reason to actually enter this market. Now guys, at this point, we've analyzed that, we've understood that there is a kind of supply level here, so there's every tendency for the market to fall downwards. It's a very good setup. So guys, when this market falls downwards, what we'll be looking at to take our profit. Now we go on to the next step, the entry and the exit plan, guys. So this is where we're hoping to take our profit from. So if we calculate from where the market is right now, I think it should be giving us somewhere around 203 pips or more, right? Now let's move to the daily chart. So we have this here. We'll analyze from here on the daily chart where we have the price action pattern. So let's move on to enter this market, right? As today, if the market was not entered, right, somewhere around here, right, somewhere around here. So at this level now, guys, we can scale down to our lower time frame and then look for maybe little price action pattern movement. Now I'll give you another trick now, guys. I'll leave you with another trick. Right here, we're about to summarize. We're getting to the end of the video. I'll leave you with one trick. Now, there are times when you can enter this market or you can check your charts to actually look for entry, so you don't sit by your computer or hold your phone every time looking for it. These are the time, guys. You can check the market in the morning. Now in the morning with time specific, guys, by 8 o'clock, right, 8 o'clock, you can check the market. Now 8 o'clock mostly, if I'm looking at a bullish scenario, right, I try to check the market at 8 o'clock, between 8 to 10, right, to see if I can find it there. Then if I'm looking for a kind of sell setup, I try to enter the market between 12. Okay guys, this is the AUDN, right? This is the AUDN. You may have already seen the previous chart, right, on from where we took the analysis, and you can see how the price is doing, how the pair is doing right now. We're holding these trades as always, and this is our target level, right? This is the line here. If you want to make reference to the full analysis, it's all on the link, right? All the videos are there and it's sequenced in the order that you can understand. So this is the trade is still in motion, like I said, and we're at least 100 pips, right? 100 pips, because the price difference is that when we took the analysis, the price was around 84.924, right? As when we took the analysis, and you have to know that if you notice, as when we took the analysis on the daily time frame, that day was kind of buying. So there's every possibility that everyone must have entered this trade at a very good price, right? So on an average right here, from the results that we have, we've actually done 100 pips. That's the price difference from about 84.92 to 83.92. That gives us an approximate 100 pips. Now, how do we calculate the pip value? The number of pips for AUDN is the same process. We have 84.924 and we have 83.924. What is common here? 8 is common, right? 8 is common, so we take away 8. The first 8 is common. Now we ignore the last digits, right, because they are not up to 1 pip. They are called pipettes. So our focus here is 4.92 and 3.92. Guys, recall, maybe I didn't mention this, but while you're calculating it, in normal mathematics, you have to take note of the decimal. But while you're calculating number of people for Forex, the decimal point doesn't really matter, right? So we just calculate it as a number, just as a number without the decimal. So what we pretty much have here is 492 minus 392. That gives us 100. So it just means it's 100 pips that we have here, right? It's 100 pips that we have here. So guys, this is a summary. We always advise our viewers to watch our contents and our videos till the end, because you need to grasp the full analysis. Millionaire Logistics is not a signal group where we just tell you buy, sell at so price. No, we take you through the analysis and give you that confidence and conviction to take our trades, right? Because in as much as we're doing it for free, we want to give in the best, and we only trade on best possible setups and best probability. So with these guys, do have a lovely week ahead. If there are trades that present themselves, we wouldn't hesitate to share. However, we're already holding 3 positions. We've closed one. We took a total of 4 positions this last week, and we've actually closed one in profit, and we're waiting for 3. That's enough to hope for. However, if we stumble upon the chart and see reasons and opportunities, we wouldn't hesitate to share with you guys. We care. Peace. Sign out.